All right, what's good? What's good, world? It's your boy Hood, man. I'm hollering at y'all again, man, live from my operation. This is where I do my little stuff at, man. Hood Films. You feel me? I appreciate y'all stopping by again and checking us out. Today, I'm just finna holler at y'all about the Corey Holcomb show. I'm finna light up some good shit. I was hollering at this show this morning and shit. I watched the whole thing. It was 3 hours this time. So that shit was funny as hell, man. So y'all check me out if you get a second. Leave a comment. Definitely leave a comment on the playback. Hit me back, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to talk to y'all about this stuff that I see on the show over there, you know what I'm saying? I watch it every week, just about. And it's definitely a fun show for me because it's like the realest shit on the internet. A lot of times on the internet, we watching shit, everybody capping and everybody putting on showcases and shit, trying to front. And you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's entertainment. Sometimes it's interesting to watch. And then sometimes it's like, man, if you don't get the fuck out of here, I know y'all niggas faking it. But, you know, it's up to you on what you're interested in, what you fuck with. You know what I'm saying? I definitely fuck with the Corey Holcomb show, so I don't know if y'all do. But if you do, we can talk about that shit over here. So let me know in the comment section what y'all think if y'all got a chance to watch the show. If y'all are interested in watching the show over there, you know what I'm saying? Let me know. But for me, you know, I like real shit. So I'm not really going to watch too many people on the internet that I deem to be fake or phony or corny. I ain't watching too much of that shit. So it's certain shows that I fuck with. And I'm talking about I fuck with them every single week. Like I might watch $1 Million Worth of Game, which I got a video up there about that shit earlier this week because they had Pooh Shiesty on there. That's a young rap dude if y'all ain't familiar with him. Because I fuck with rap music every day since I was a kid, which I talk about on my video that y'all can watch. I also fuck with Corey Holcomb show for show every single week. You know what I'm saying? Because they be definitely cracking jokes on there and going crazy. And it's like a form of expression for me. It's like any place where you can just goddamn it say anything you want to say and do whatever fuck you want to do. That's kind of place I like to be at. I'm not a regimented person. I don't have a boss over me. I don't have like some CEO telling me what time to show up and all that bullshit to make my money like that. So I do everything I do on my own. I produce all my own shows, which, by the way, y'all should go watch my new movie. It's called Killer Rapper. The number's running up on that motherfucker. It's right here on this channel. It's called Killer Rapper. I'm going to try to put it in the comment section or a link it somewhere so you can check it out or one of these places, man, a card. But go see it, you know what I'm saying? Watch my new movie. It's an hour long. It's called Killer Rapper. It's dope as hell. I made it myself on the south side of Chicago. I've been making movies for like 20-some years. One of my movies just made 20 years old, too, this year. Matter of fact, it's called Hood Life. But if you check out my playlist, called New Movies 2021, or just check out Killer Rapper, you'll be able to see the rest of the movies and shit that I got up here on this YouTube thing. But I definitely fuck with that show. I'm trying to have my station be just as real, just as authentic as those two stations that I watch. And I watch 85 South Show every fucking week because these are like real dudes to me. And that's exactly how I kick it. Like I make my own money. I decide my own products. Here's my book in case you think I'm bullshitting. This is my new book. It's called How to Make a Hood Movie. You see what I'm saying? I made this book myself. I wrote it. That's me right there playing in my latest hood movie, Killer Rapper. That's the scene right there. You know what I'm saying, from it. But it's a dope-ass book that I put together myself, page by page. You can see some of my old movies that I created. Like I made this movie right here. And then I got some information about how to do it yourself. You know what I'm saying? So check my movie out, my book. It's on Amazon. It's called How to Make a Hood Movie. You know what I'm saying? Fuck with a young entrepreneur, man. We ain't never stopping out here. So that's the whole hustle. You know what I'm saying? That I basically been doing my own thing for years. So back to Corey Holcomb show. So I just letting y'all know that I fuck with them because they keep it real on there. They talk shit. I fucks with that shit. I listen to the political niggas too. Like I might listen to Boyce Watkins, Dr. Umar Johnson. I might fuck with, you know, any bunch of motherfuckers. I might fuck with they shit. Tariq Nasheed niggas too. I fuck with them too. And so back to the Corey Holcomb show. So this week they had Willie D on there and old girl Just Niche. Just Niche is a comedian that kick it with Corey Holcomb, and they travel all over the country doing shows. Sometimes he don't have it with them all the time, but they do travel doing concerts, and she funny as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Female comic. I never see her live, but I've seen her on the show a few times, and she just be talking shit, man, kicking it. You know, she really like Corey. You know, but they both from Chi-Town. I'm from Chi-Town too, so that's another reason why I follow their station. And they channel and listen to the shit that they talk about every week because it's funny to me. It's like that. These motherfuckers crazy. Like, what the fuck? Some of the shit they say, just so outrageous, man. Like, he had a major question today. Like, have you ever felt guilty fucking a married woman's husband? I mean, I'm sorry, fucking a you know what I'm trying to say, fucking a married person. And so that was so fucking hilarious because these motherfuckers is all giving their opinion. And Willie D, he was a rapper back when I was coming up and shit, real famous and shit. So he had songs that was out that was relevant to the actual question. He had a song called The Cleanup Man back in the day. So that's what he was talking about. He said, that's what I told you, I was the cleanup man. Because he was talking about how he was messing with a married woman, but her husband was beating on her. And so she ended up getting with him. And he said, so he used to put hands on her in one way, and I used to put hands on her in the other way. And so that was funny trying to see how he kicked it with them and talked this shit. So Willie D, he definitely got his own station on there called Willie D Live on YouTube. And I watch his show every week too. Matter of fact, I watch his shit damn every day because he do updates and shit, like different stuff happening all over the world. Sometimes I talk about the same issues right here on my channel because it'd be interesting shit. You know what I'm saying? Some of the stuff is like, what the fuck? You'd be shocked some of the stuff you learn about that's going on in the world. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times you see somebody talking about it, you want to talk about that shit yourself because a lot of shit is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like they just killed another black dude up in some place in California. I think it's like Northern California. Police talk about he was jaywalking and shit like that. So it's really fucked up that that kind of shit still happened to our race. So you can get some relief when you go in there and watch niggas like Corey Holcomb, them laughing, talking shit. You get a little relief where you could goddamn it, you know, laugh and have a little letdown because, and then sometimes being a black motherfucker, it's so many rules and regulations that they expect you to fucking follow. You know what I'm saying? And you want to follow them yourself so you don't be feeling like an outcast or you ain't in the in crowd. So sometimes you want to just get your head, get a situation where you can just kind of like let it go and just laugh and just be wow. If you ever look at any of my movies, you'll notice that a lot of my films are about that kind of status, that a person is just being they self, being wild, but they expressive. You know what I'm saying? They ain't letting shit just slide past them. They speaking on shit. And that was something that I wanted to do in my new movie, Killer Rapper. But yo, they show was so fucking funny today because after that, you got everybody went down the list talking about how they used to be dating chicks and how they cheated on them and shit like that. Craig Fax was on there talking about somehow the girl lied on him. Just Niece was talking about the person she got with lied on her. Didn't say they was married. Just Niece said a motherfucking chick chased her down the street in the car. She driving, her girl followed her down the motherfucking street in the car talking about some quit dating my husband. She said she was a religious chick. So she was like, leave my husband alone. Now we're going to make our relationship work. So that shit was funny to the motherfucker too. So just seeing the motherfuckers all on there talking shit and kicking it, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's funny and shit because I do my show really solo right now. I really don't fuck with too many people as far as being online and being in front of the camera right now. And I'm really just getting used to this shit myself because me being a filmmaker, you know what I'm saying? I'm always the person behind the scenes. So trying to talk to y'all every day or trying to kick it to y'all like this, it's definitely a journey. It's like sometimes I'm in the zone, sometimes I'm not. So I got to keep doing it. I look at it like basketball and shit. Like if you just keep taking a shot, eventually you'll keep hitting that motherfucker. And then you'll have a spot that you know you can go to every time, no matter who you playing against, and you can shoot from that spot and it'll go in. So that's almost like this. So you're just trying to get your groove on the shit that you fuck with and the people that fuck with you. Because I just keep it myself. I'm not, I don't have to go wear suits to go kiss no hunky ass. I ain't got to go to no job and be up in no motherfucking body face to muscle. Can I go on break? Can I go out of town and all this shit? I ain't taking no piss tests. I don't live like that. I basically do movies. You buy them or you don't, and that's okay. You see them or you haven't. That's all right. I ain't pissed at you because I look at it like eventually in life you might get a chance to fuck with it, or eventually in life you don't. Either way, I'm still gonna do what the fuck I do because this is what I chose. This is what I love. So comedians and shit, they got the same kind of zone where they kind of got to say whatever the fuck they want to say, and that right there is a sense of freedom. So I'm always locked in on people that kick it like that because that's exactly how I kick it. I might not do it on the comedy stage, but you will see my films and you will see my movies or you will see how I do it my way. It's not like, you know what I mean, other people's zones and shit like that. That's another reason why I chose Burr Hood Films, because I was looking at that and I was like, well, Hood is my last name and I do films. To me, it's a no-brainer. But some people be thinking like, the fuck you call it Hood Film for? That's the hood. You from the streets. It's like, well, you know, that's in Chicago. It's a lot of that. It's a lot of that world too. And a lot of my movies are about the hood, but that's just the scenario, the scenes, the location that's around me. I didn't create the damn sidewalks in the buildings. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Going back to their show, they went on and shit, and because he said, "Oh, girl, just Niece gonna be performing with him this weekend and shit." So Corey always try to bust motherfuckers out, but he do it in a comedic way, not necessarily trying to bust him out to disrespect him or diss him or treat him shitty, but he just like to talk shit. He just like to talk all kind of wild, reckless, wild, outrageous ass shit, and by doing that, sometimes it get motherfuckers uncomfortable. But old girl just Niece, she get it. She a comedian. She don't give a fuck. And he was all talking about how she was trying to fuck with Willie D and get Willie D and all this shit, and how she's such a garbage ass bitch that fucking with Willie D would be a bad thing for him, and that he'll end up relapsing and shit because Willie D come off as a cool, calm dude. He don't be snapping. He don't be flipping out. And then he come off so calm and collected that Corey like, nah, nigga, you a motherfucker say some wild shit finally and scrape this bitch and whoop her motherfucking ass because she is the kind of person she is. So he was like, nah, nigga, don't goddamn it, fuck with nobody like Just Niece. So I was dying laughing because, you know, she come on the show with him all the time. I've seen her on that a few times. And so she's basically like you could kind of say she a recurring guest. You know what I'm saying? But she understand how he kick it. He even say that shit. He even be saying it. He be like, look, nigga, I fuck with people like Just Niece because she could take a joke. She got thin skin. She ain't going to take it all personally and make it seem like I'm bogus for what the fuck I'm saying. So that should be funny to the motherfucker. But that's what I like about their show, man. The realness in it, the being yourself 100% authentic. You got to make money outside of the white world because white folks want you to fit in. They understand it. They want you to have a certain kind of criteria. If you don't do this, that way, and that way, then you can't make money in their world. That's just how it is, you know. So you got to find ways to move. A lot of times people come to me because I do filmmaking. I got a master's degree in filmmaking, and they be like, "Hood, hey, we want you to do this. We want you to do that." And if it's not directly with them, if it's directly with them, I will probably consider it. But if it got something really to do with white folks where it's like, oh, but here, that's how we do it. You got to do like this. You got to do like that. I'm really going to pull away from that because I don't really want to have my creativity be locked into a box because you can't do that to white folks. I can't say to white people as a film producer and distribution company, send me your movie. Oh, shit. No, I don't like it like this. I like it like that. They can look at you and say, like, we'll need you. We can fuck over here and do our own thing. And I just think of shit like that. I look at it the same way. Like if I make hood films, I don't fucking need to follow your criteria or understand how you do some shit. I'm gonna do it my motherfucking way. And the people that fuck with me gonna fuck with me. And that's just what it is. So I've been doing movies 20 motherfucking years because people fuck with me from what I do. They don't be fucking with me from how I'm trying to mimic white companies and, oh, I'm branded with this hunky company or I'm branded with this hunky company. They don't give a fuck about that. They just fuck with me for each movie I make. So if I stop making movies because I got a job with white people or they gave me some kind of title at their company and shit, my people gonna look at me and be like, you a bitch. I remember a long time ago when I was in my mid-30s, it was a time when I was trying to find an apartment. I was homeless in a motherfucker. Filmmaker, you be homeless like a motherfucker. That's another time. So my homie and shit, I'm telling my homie, I'm like, and rest in peace to him now because he ain't alive no more. But he was bragging me every day. And I was like, look, man, I'm trying to find a job, nigga. Shit, I gotta get money. I'm on these fucking condoms, sleeping in the fucking condom, man. I'm tired of shit. And my man was like, man, what the fuck I'm gonna do? Basically, what he was asking me was, if I get a job, what the fuck he gonna do? He's like, what we gonna do in hood films with you if you get a job? And I'm thinking to myself, I had never heard it from that perspective. I'm thinking like, because this is how they told me. You get the job, you put the money into the company, and then you can, do that. But it wasn't no job. You black, you're a black man, ain't no goddamn job. So you gotta hustle in the streets. So as I built hood films and made that shit come to life, motherfucker was getting on board and fucking with me and rocking with me on a daily basis, going out 3, 4 in the morning to shoot shit. And so I'm like doing that, but I'm still had to sleep in the car. I'm like, nigga, you at your mama crib, you at your people crib. I'm tired of this shit. And dude, like, nigga, what the fuck I'm gonna do if you get a job? So he had locked in his mind that this was his job, that hood films was his job. And I'm gonna tell you some honest to God shit. When I went to his funeral, he had that shit on his obituary. Hood films was his job. That's some shit that I blew my motherfucking mind because I'm like, I'm actually from the hood. I'm actually from the streets. You see motherfuckers saying that shit, but they could not literally, no, I don't think a nigga breathing could be more motherfucker from the streets from me. And I mean, all you motherfuckers out there, listen to me, give a fuck where you from or what you do. You could never come to the fucking Chicago and sleep in these motherfucking streets with this kind of weather when you young, mid-age, or my motherfucking age right now. You could never even sell on the motherfucking streets every goddamn day. I'm talking about selling products on the fucking streets to fucking strangers every fucking day because y'all want bling. You want motherfuckers to think you on. You want to come up. You want that appreciation for people. But I don't give a fuck. I want to live. I want to be free consistently all the rest of my motherfucking life. So whatever the fuck I got to do that, I'm gonna do it. It don't matter what it is. It's not obviously I'm gonna respect myself. I ain't gonna be no bitch out here. But I'm gonna go and do what I got to do to secure my game and secure my bag to take care of myself. That's why I create products like my book. That's why I got products on Walmart right now. I don't know if y'all can see that shit, How to Make a Hood Movie, right there on the website. It's right there on Amazon. All my shit. That's why I keep doing something else, keep making something else, because I always got to have another funnel to drive to get money, because I'm not the kind of person going to fit in with white America. That don't work in my, it never happened. I'm old and a bitch now. I'm not no young nigga no more. When I was in my 20s, it didn't work. When I was in my 30s, it didn't work. And I'm in my fucking 40s, it don't work. It don't work. My first run in Hollywood, I had to check a gay nigga. I had to check that motherfucking nigga. And he fucked me up because, you know, when you a hoe ass nigga, you try to disrespect people. It ain't got nothing to do with me personally. I had to understand that in my time frame, that some people just bitch ass humans. And if you let a bitch ass human disrespect you, that can bleed over to you being a bitch ass human. So anytime somebody disrespects you, you got to speak up for yourself, because if you don't, you become that bitch ass human too. And ain't nobody over you. I don't give a fuck what color they are. Yeah, they can lock you up, put you in jail cells, and, you know, put handcuffs on you and lock you in a fucking room and all that shit that they do to people. But that don't mean people are over you. That just mean people dominated you. So years ago, and I'm gonna go quick with this. Basically, I had a job at Universal in LA, and I'm doing a gig, working editing and shit for this company up at Universal Pictures in LA. Boom, I'm happy than a motherfucker. I'm getting my master's degree. They gave me the call. I couldn't believe it. I'm from Chicago, broke in a fucking nickel. I ain't got a nickel, so I'm man, I don't even want to know. I'm telling y'all all this shit. Me and my homie, I'm sitting in his motherfucking car. All we doing is smoking weed every fucking day. We selling nicks. This is how fucked up it was. I'm like 36 or some shit like that. So we're in the hundreds in Chicago selling nicks on 117th in Michigan. We was like one block east. And he had a crib over outside. We was no crib. It was outside in cars. So this is what we was living like. And so I had got the call from Hollywood, but I ain't got a penny. Like, I don't have a nickel. So I'm talking to my homie and shit. He's a little older than me. So I'm like, nigga, what the fuck, man? I'm telling you, the homie who was kicking it with me, he had homies kicking it with him that was more his age. And we all jumping in the car and shit, riding around this fucking filthy ass wintertime outside. And this motherfucker come up to me and be like, I gotta flip over a fucking PlayStation or some shit like that. I had never even understood no shit like taking the PlayStations to pawn shops, and that was a whole world, man. I was fucked up in the world at that time. And so dude come to me and shit, right? So I'm like, man, should I go my motherfucking ass out to Hollywood, nigga? Because I ain't got shit. That nigga was like, nigga, you gonna be sitting your ass right here if you don't. I'm like, straight up? Okay, bet. I jump out the window. I flip my ass all the way out there and I go. So I'm plugged. Now I got the gig. I'm out in this bitch. I'm going to the little gig and shit. It's fly as hell. LA, bling, sunny fucking lifestyle is different for me, you know, from what I'm experiencing in my life. But then I go up here and I got the job. I'm in this bitch. I'm supposed to be editing on a Mac computer doing some, it was a TV show called $1 Million Listing or some shit like that. This is Bravo TV that I was doing this gig for. So I'm happy as a motherfucker because this editing is what I do all fucking day. It's what I do any goddamn way. So I'm like, this is perfect. So anyway, the guy come to me. He take me outside. They was like, he's going to go get your ID. So we go outside. He take me outside. He stopped before we get to the building. He stopped at the gate. He like, look, motherfucker, you're going to be working this many hours and 9 hours. And blah, 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 blah. He started talking. It's kind of wild. It's my first time really kicking with this motherfucker. He's my manager or whatever, the person who I got to be under and shit. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So then we don't go to the building to get the ID. We go back to the office that we was working in all this time. So the Mark like, yo, nigga, I don't want you to do no more editing. I want you to go over here and take these VHS tapes and stack them up in this box and stack them over here. And I'm all, you know, I'm one of the people that I'm not going to let whole shit last too long around me. I know that that's uncomfortable for some people, but that's just how I kick it. So I'm not going to fuck with you long if I detect whole shit in your activity. I'm going to stay up away from your ass because I know it's going to be a minute before I flip the fuck out on you and go into another zone. And then it's like, damn, he wrong. He ain't shit. Woo, woo. So that's just who I am. And I'm not bothered with nobody who ain't like that. You got to live your life. So making a long story short, dude, like, man, we ain't finna let you do no editing. You going to do this. I'm thinking, like, he had another white dude in there. I said, well, who is dude? He was like, oh, that's our freelancer. He going to do it. I said, well, man, I'm trying to get my master's degree in filmmaking, nigga. I need to be learning this shit. I don't need to be putting no boxes and stacking boxes up there. So the Mark, who just the same motherfucker who just took me outside to go talk about some shit, he was like, look, You work here, you do what the fuck I tell you to do. You're gonna do what the fuck I'm telling you to do. I'm telling you, lift them motherfucking boxes up and stack this shit in there, and that's what we need to get done. All of us had to do that shit, and that's the fuck you do. So I took that shit as disrespect. I'm just gonna keep it all the way live. So I flipped out on this bitch. I said, nah, I smack the shit out you bitch ass motherfucker. Who the fuck you talking to? Don't you ever disrespect me, you bitch. I get into my master's degree and I wish the fuck I would do that shit, you hoe ass nigga. Fuck, say some more shit to me. I'll knock your teeth out your mouth, bitch. This hoe ass nigga, I'm not bullshitting because he was being, what's the word, aggressive towards me. But I knew he a bitch. Come on, man. And anyway, so the mom said, like, he sit in his chair and start crying on my motherfucking ass. I swear to God. And I ain't touched this motherfucker. He said some whole shit to me. I said some whole shit back to him. But he a gay nigga. So he started crying. So I'm fucked up, shocked at this move. I'm like, I'm thinking he gonna say something back. This whole motherfucker started crying. So I already know I'm losing this job because now you got two people in a fridge, but this nigga been working here the whole time. This like my day 2 or day 3 at this bitch. But it's Hollywood. This my first go around. So I'm like, nigga, I made it. I'm on. But then you run into some hoes like the whole ass nigga like that, and this is like a Venezuelan person trying to act white. So he was not a white human. He was not a Caucasian human, and he wasn't I don't know, a Mexican necessarily. He was like one of the Venezuelans, some kind of people like that. But he had took on the white octave and yes, John and Tommy, and he had took on all that. Ain't my business. You're another human. I don't give a fuck what you do. But if you disrespect me, I don't give a fuck about no job, you bitch ass nigga. I don't give a fuck where the fuck we at. I'm gonna take care of me. You got to take care of you. So that's why I gravitate to people with that kind of mentality. If you're a bitch motherfucker and let people run over you, I ain't finna fuck with you. You can't be around me and none of that shit because I'm thinking that you is dangerous. Like you scare me because you don't speak up for yourself and then you might motherfucking blow up one miraculous day or one crazy afternoon and then you flipping the fuck out and I'm caught up in the middle of that shit. If you don't speak up for your, and of course I lost that job in motherfucking Hollywood with them. I didn't give a fuck. And when they called me about that shit, because I had a whole ass cousin who played me. I was staying with my cousin who we grew up together up there. And so when I came back for the job that day and told him, I was like, damn, man, I had to check this motherfucker at the gig, man. This motherfucker, you know, he know who I am. He know my personality. He come out of bag on me. He like, nigga, well, I just fly you back to Chicago right now. I'm thinking like, huh? I hadn't even talked to the hunkies who supposed to be over me at the place. He just like, nigga, well, you can't just sit up in here and shit. I'm gonna just fly you back. I said, okay, my nigga. He flew me back to Chicago. I sent him his money back for flying me back to Chicago. LA called me, Hollywood motherfuckers like, what happened? Oh my God, you should have just came and told us. I said, that person got disrespectful with me. I'm a grown man. I don't deal with that kind of shit. I came here to learn. But if y'all put me in that kind of environment, it's gonna be fucked up. And they was like, well, we could switch you around and just let us know. And I called Cuz back. I said, nigga, they could put me back on up there, man. In Hollywood, they said they had to switch me to another area at NBC. He was like, oh, it's too late now. It's too late now. Basically meaning that I can't come back and stay in this crib because I fucked up with this hunky, which he ain't got nothing to do with these motherfuckers. He's supposed to be my motherfucking cousin. So I was like, okay, I'll let it ride. Yeah, real life, CJL. Yep. So it don't matter. So I looked at that and I was like, okay, bet. So I took all of those hits, bing, 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 because as a filmmaker and as an artist, you got to take punches. You got to take gut hits, knock jaws. You got to get your fucking hair pulled out. You got to get shot at. If you can't take that, you can't be no entrepreneur. You can't be nobody on. I would have never imagined my cousin would have played me because I had to check some bitch motherfucker out of a job. Some gay hoe ass nigga who thought he could disrespect me. I didn't come disrespecting him. But by explaining that to my cousin, he was looking at me like, I'm straight on you. But what he didn't realize is that broke the fucking wall between him and me. So now in our future life, when they eventually gave me a call at Paramount Pictures, he the first one on the phone. Yo, cuz, what? He tried to play me that time. I was at the motherfucking Grand Central Station in LA, fresh in town. Paramount Pictures gave me a call this time. So now I'm finna go work with these motherfuckers. And cuz the nigga who I'm finna stay with is another nigga, but he worked till midnight. But cuz drive down there to the spot and he see that I gotta go to the interview. I'm fresh out the plane. He dropped my ass back off at Central Station. Like, nigga, look, I ain't trying to deal with you. You fucked up last time and yelled at that hunky. So, or whatever dude was. So he shade tree my ass. And I was like, my nigga. So 2 days later, I went to the motherfucking interview at Paramount, greenlit my ass. They gave me the job. Then I ran into some people in LA that was motherfucking doing the Hollywood move every single day, working on productions. And they took me around with them. Nigga, I kept all my contacts, ain't never looked back. And when them niggas call me now, Like I just got a call from one of them motherfuckers, my own cousin, a week or two ago. Hey, it's like, hell no. Don't contact me, nigga. Because you was thinking that you could protect white folks or protect Caucasian reality. I don't know what the fuck you was thinking. But you tried to play me because I had to check a motherfucker. We're done. We'll never have no kind of conversation or relationship again because this is some shit that I fucking love. I don't just like filmmaking. I don't just talk filmmaking, nigga. This is what I love. So I'm going to speak up for that shit. I'm going to stand in line for this shit. I'm going to make this shit be heard of what the fuck I do. I don't give a fuck if it don't look like some motherfuckers who did some shit in Hollywood. They shit don't look like mine, nigga. I got my own authentic look and my own authentic goddamn style, and people fuck with that. Go see my new movie, Kill a Rapper. That bitch is just 2 months old. 2 months. It's been out since January 1st. So this is the second month right now. And that bitch free right on this channel. It's an hour long too. And that ain't the first movie. I got a movie 20 years motherfucking old. Hood Life. It made that bitch in 2001. And just like it's a pandemic right now, 20 motherfucking years ago, it was a motherfucking 9/11 when I finished that motherfucking movie. So when you talk about booking in your motherfucking career, like that 9/11 20 years ago when I made Hood Life and I was trying to show the homies and shit because my homie's birthday was September 11th. We was already going to see it that day, but that morning they bombed New York and then they shut Chicago down for whatever reason. 20 years later, it's a fucking pandemic. And I got my motherfucking movie finished. It don't matter because I ain't got nothing to do with me. A pandemic, all that shit, I get it. I got it. My shit shot ready and it's up on this bitch. So the way I kick it, the way my personality roll, the way I operate my life, it's a certain type of criteria, a certain type of motherfuckers that I allow around me. And so when I watch Corey Holcomb and them and shit like that, and he say shit like that, like when you get a certain age, you're not really letting everybody around you. You're not really letting a whole bunch of motherfuckers kick it with you no more because that's how bullshit happens. Even if it is family members trying to mend this shit, because I looked at it and I was like, damn, why would my cousin play me like that? You know, maybe he just didn't want me around him or something like that. Maybe he felt like he was at a level in Hollywood. I don't know. But at the end of the day, don't think that you could rekindle that because that was some shitty shit you pulled. That was some shitty shit. And I got little kids at the time. I'm trying to maneuver my way through LA and all that shit, but people try to show their ass. So when I started bumping motherfucking ID and showing my motherfucking Paramount picture shit all over the motherfucking country, everybody's shit, oh, hood, congratulations. You know who the fuck called me? My cousin. Where you at, nigga? Let's kick it. It's like, yeah, nigga, but you shady. So now that lady said something, her name is Maya Angelou. She said, when a person show you who they are, believe them. That's critical to anybody. It don't matter who the fuck your boss could be, your job, your motherfucking homie, your friend from high school. It don't matter who they are. When people show you who they are, just believe them. Don't try to go back and reinvent them and make them somebody they're not. Just believe it. Like these motherfuckers can be shady. You know what I'm saying? You don't see your boy back on Corey Holcomb show because at the end of the day, he didn't like Corey the whole time. That nigga who Corey had to get that money from, he didn't like Corey the whole motherfucking time, man. That's why he ain't back on the show because he ain't like that nigga. And so he was like, if you bust me out and disrespect me like that, like he did, then goddamn it, I'll never come back and run you. Why? Because I gotta be the second one in the room. I gotta be the last guy. Now his whole career fucking with Corey was like that. But when it got called out and defined and specified what it was, that nigga don't want to play that role. He can't play that role. He like, I'm out. But it is that you get to a certain level or point in your life that you ain't gonna let anybody come around you. And believe me, they got the same motherfucking mentality. You might not believe that shit. They got the same thoughts. So when motherfuckers start calling me again now, when they start hitting me up today, yo, hey, look, I got an idea. I ain't got shit to talk about. Why? Because when I was younger and the times could have been more effective, you was busy. You was doing your thing. So now that my shit popping up and learning and I'm putting myself in better positions, don't think you get to piggyback off this shit. That's just some shit you got to look back and say, hey, I'm going to look at homie. I'm going to do my own motherfucking thing. That's what you better do. Because, motherfucker, that's official with me. I'm not fucking with nobody I ain't got to fuck with. This shit come too motherfucking hard. It's like a process of building your fucking self up. So when I see Corey Holcomb and them, and I know they putting themselves out there, I know they saying shit that's like out of whack, that most motherfuckers look at that shit and be like, that person crazy. That person's stupid. I know people gonna say shit like that about a person. So it's what it is. You gotta let motherfuckers say what they want to say. Because if you're gonna bow down because of what somebody feel about what you say, then you weak anyway. You ain't got no motherfucking respect for yourself. And ain't nobody gonna rock like that. Most motherfuckers gonna have respect for themselves and go out there and do them. So whereas my own cuz who I grew up with has to go through 2 or 3 aunties to contact me. That's really stupid, but it's the facts. Got to go through all the family members to get in contact with me, because if you contact me directly, it ain't nothing to talk. It ain't shit to talk about. What are we discussing? I could look at you from a distance and be like, yo, my nigga, I see what's on. Yep, and then keep it moving. I don't have to be around you, and then you be like, all he do is smoke weed. But then when you get ready to drink, you get to sip all the fuck you want to, but we just drinking. It's just drinking. Nigga, I smoke motherfucking weed. I don't give a fuck if you don't. Them your lungs. They on your motherfucking body. What the fuck you put them in is your business. I don't give a shit. It's not going to make me eat or sleep or shit. Nothing different. I don't give a fuck what you do. You shouldn't give a fuck what I do. But if you do, check it out. I'll go light up every motherfucking day until I feel like I quit. Until I say it. Not what the fuck you say. You don't give a fuck about your opinion about me. So that's why I like Corey, because I fuck with that kind of mentality of just doing you, and everybody else get to do their shelf. Do the shit that's right for you. That's what I like to say to anybody. Do what's right for you. So it's a bunch of other shit that's going on in the fucking news, and that's why I pop videos up here, so y'all can go check out my videos on the other shit that's going on in the news. You got Jay-Z just selling half of his liquor to Louis Vuitton, Moet Hennessy, LVMH, which is a dope move for him because he constantly building up and building his empire. And that's why I talk about the decadent veil. And I know a lot of y'all like the decadent veil. The fuck this nigga talking about? That's some shit that's in the black community and the ADOS community that's out here. And old boy Antonio Smith, who made ADOS, he talked about this on his channel. He talked about I love that political shit too. Tone Talks is his channel on here, but he talk about the decadent veil. It's a statement from Martin Luther King. It says it's Black History Month. Y'all could get a little knowledge. It's a statement from Martin Luther King's speech where he talk about the decadent veil, meaning that only in the black community is a celebrity a leader. Only in a black African American community, the people who were descendants of slavery and who are trying to make it in America right now, we're the only culture of people who have who have a black person that's almost like a Jay-Z, who was a spokesperson for the black culture, like a Oprah Winfrey or whoever. And it's not like we choose that. Obviously, white folks choose that because they the ones who give them money. It ain't like they make their own fucking money. They make money because they work for white people. They got contracts and deals and partnerships with Caucasians, and that's how they make the money. And then they become the spokesperson for black folks. So you got T.I., or you might have Big Mike, or you might have somebody black that'll actually be the spokesperson for black people. So that thing, the decadent veil, is what Martin Luther King was talking about, is being that white people will say, oh, okay, look at LeBron James, look at Michael Jordan, look at Oprah Winfrey, they're rich, look, they're successful, so black people must be doing well. And so the decadent veil is that they ain't doing well. Black people behind that veil are fucked up, broke all over the country in all 50 states. There is no black community. There is no black neighborhoods like that. All that shit is what it is, but we just accept it. And we look at Jay-Z and them and say, damn, we proud of them. Like, yeah, congratulations, Serena Williams. Congratulations, Tyler Woods. But they don't really do shit to share their wealth with our black community. They don't build cities or build schools or build shit. They just have a lot of money. And anything they buy, if you think about it, is really just made from white people. Like, they don't even come and say, I got $1 million. This $1 million is only going to be bought for black products. It's not even that type of shit in our black culture. It's just all, hey, look at me. I bought a ring from white people. You got some little young black guys that got a fucking diamond in their head. You feel me? It's nothing wrong with this because that's their life. I'm not trying to hate on them or say, man, you wrong or you dumb, because I was living my life and I'm going to do what the fuck I want to do too. But they got diamonds in their head and I think it cost like $24 million. This just show you that it's a decadent veil, being that these white kids who make this money, that's enough richness for the whole black community, but it's really not, because they don't do shit with that to spread it. So that's what the decadent veil is, and it's a statement that came from Martin Luther King in one of his speeches, and they just kind of brought that back and relegating that to today's ways of why most celebrities is the leaders in our community. But that's just what it is. I just broke that down to you because sometimes that's what our community is. It's not like it's a lot of success where it spreads. It's just success that white people get to galvanize and come up off of. Because if a black person get money, I say I drank Cisco once. Shit, I drank that shit more than once, my nigga. I was so drunk of fucking prom, nigga, in 1991 off some Cisco. My same cousin I'm telling you about, nigga, stole all the money out of my motherfucking wallet. All my money. He was hitting you with money when you graduate from high school and shit. Motherfucker stole my shit. So I was like, hey, whatever. But you know, you learn. Yeah, that kid, man, he put that diamond in his motherfucking head, and it's like But that's the decadent veil. That's what the decadent veil means. Somebody like that kid to be rich, but that idea that all of Black America can afford a fucking diamond to put in their fucking head, if he would, it's crazy. And for 24 million, he could do a lot with that. But again, that's his money. He can do what the fuck he want to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I agree with you, C. Gerald. That shit is dumb. But they're not going to give the money to somebody with knowledge of self, which is what was in hip hop when I was growing up. It was a thing called knowledge of self, which is meant that Black guys who was making rap songs was trying to teach you about who you were as a Black person. So you didn't ask for this. You listen to fucking music. And, you know, I think it was a song out when I was a little kid called Atomic Dog. Atomic Dog. I'm a little kid, like 11, 12. The major part of the song that I remember was bow, wow, wow, yippee, yo, yippee, yay. That was just fun because you heard me acting like a dog. I never heard the lyrics until I became a grown man. And it was like, oh, wait a minute. So this song was about sex. Oh, shit. I was a grown up before I understood that. That wasn't even rap music. It was just a music that was out when I was a kid. But the rap songs was about Black people, Black politics, Black America, Black, Black, Black. Every fucking song was. This is just what it was. It wasn't like you would act. It was just how rap music came to you. It was like that. Then after a while, it switched and it ain't never went back to that kind of psychology or us talking points in hip hop. Has always been what it is now. From back then in the early 90s to today, it's never changed again. They've changed the diagram where it's like gangster music to drill music to different forms of it, but it's just still the same style where everybody not talking about Blackness and Black power and shit like that. But that's just what the hip hop was. It's just what the fuck it was. So you learned a lot about who you was. Just 15, 16, you hearing the music, you learning who you are. It's what the fuck they talking about. And then it changed. So the kids, I don't think they get a chance to hear that message of who the fuck they are. Like, you know, you must learn. Songs like that was out. Gang of songs from Pro Ratchet Teachers, a gang of songs from, it was just Public Enemy. And the movies was like that. Spike Lee was making movies about Black power. Even Straight Outta Brooklyn by Matty Rich was a movie that came out in the 90s. I mean, late 80s, early 90s. His movie was about the streets. It was like the first official hood movie, really, if you ask me. It really was. But I don't make his movie a part of my book as a hood movie because he made it on such a professional level. Like, even y'all don't know who the fuck Matty Rich is, I'm assuming, if you're not a film dude. But this is early 89, 90. He made a movie called Straight Outta Brooklyn, which when they came out with the NAA movie, they just basically took the same title and called it Straight Outta Compton. You know what I'm saying? The song Straight Outta Compton came straight from the movie Straight Outta Brooklyn, which was a dope movie. They didn't play it on major channels. They played this shit on PBS. That's the only time you saw it. PBS would be channel 11 in Chicago. So that's the only way you saw that movie. But it was dope. But that would be like the official first hood movie because that movie was made in New York. I'm almost thinking it was like Brooklyn rather. And it was a good movie. You ever saw that movie, you'll love it. And I will do a breakdown on that movie. I break that movie down because I haven't done a breakdown on that movie since I've been fucking around on YouTube. But y'all should know about that movie because this movie was one of the first movies that came out that gave a good depiction of New York and what it was during the hip hop time. Like the hip hop was around at this time. But then Matty Rich was able to shoot in his hood. And I remember that he said this on the news. Well, they had interviewed him in the NBC. And it was on the news in Chicago when you saw the interview, though. And he was saying that he went to his neighborhood drug dealers and asked them, can he use the block? And I had to be like about 15 or 16 watching this movie. And they let him shoot when the drug dealer, they shut the operation down in New York. And they would shoot their movie. And he made the movie, but he said he found out how to make movies by going and reading books at the library. He said he read every single book in the library. So as I got on my journey of filmmaking, I started doing that same shit. I actually started doing that because I remember that interview from him. And he said he did that. So I was like, fuck that. I'm going to just try to do the same. I did the same thing. As a matter of fact, my movie Hood Life, I shot that bitch the same way. I went to the homies. They were sitting on the house. It was called crack houses at this point. They call them trap houses and different shit, bando or whatever the fuck they call them today. But at that time, they was called crack houses. And so they was hustling on the crack house. And I had my cameras and all that shit in 2001. And I'm like, man, the summer was ending. It was like August. And I was like, yo, y'all, I want to shoot a movie. And everybody came out. They shot that bitch with me Saturday. Yeah, Saturday they shot it. So we got the whole scenes, and the police came, you know, because we had flake guns and all that shit. So it's on the end of the movie. You ever see Hood Life, which is on my playlist, New Movies 2021, right on this channel. You can see the end of the play, the what they call it, outtakes, and the police pulled up 6 cars deep, and it was wild as fuck. But make a long story short, we shot the movie. The next day when I showed back up to shoot the second day of scenes, nobody showed up. Not one motherfucker showed up, and it was empty. And I was out there with the camera, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I told everybody 1 p.m., and so 2 p.m. came around. Then at 3 p.m. came around. I'm like, ain't nobody gonna show up. And so the little homie who was out there hustling and shit, Chop, he was like, yo, I don't know why you chose to use them motherfuckers. Ain't nobody finna come back down here. He was like, you supposed to use the motherfuckers that's out here. And I'm thinking, like, I asked him, I'm like, y'all niggas out here. You want y'all to be in a fucking movie then? He was like, nah, we good. And I was like, damn, okay, well, all right, fuck it. I got to give me a whole bunch of new pictures. So before I left, he was like, you know what, fuck it, man. We'll be in it. We'll be in the movie. And I'm like, bet. So that's what made that movie Hood Life, my movie, because at that point, I made sure I got that fucking film done. And it was dope. We made it. It's been 20 years now, and it's right here on this channel. Y'all should check that motherfucker out. Yeah, my fault, nigga. Say straight out of Brooklyn. Yeah, I was almost your daddy. Hell yeah. Oh, you seen that shit. Yeah. Yeah, that motherfucker was good, man. When back in the day, if y'all ever see that, y'all need to check that out one of these days, man. But a lot of the shit that they put in the movies today came off Dude Movie, but he was an independent filmmaker, and you would have never seen like that they were. But you notice how they hustling. He's not making money from them stealing shit from his movie. Like, for instance, Straight Outta Brooklyn was the name of the movie. They came up with a song called Straight Outta Compton from LA, which we know is a famous ass song, but he didn't make no money from that. Then they come out with the movie Straight Outta Compton, straight off the song. So it's like people have been piggybacking off of Matty Rich for a lot of years in the filmmaking game. Doing his stories in Brooklyn, the way he shot it, it was a dope ass movie. And I think it was black and white, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying? But it was mad years ago. So this is in '89 or some shit like this. So many years ago, I was shorty. But this was inspirational to me as a filmmaker, because I'm like, hold on. If this nigga from New York can tell me he read books to learn about filmmaking, so I'm like, I'm finna do this shit. And as I became an artist in this game, I always just stuck to learning, then creating. So that's what I'll be doing. I'm gonna try to study this shit up as much as I fucking can, and then I actually goddamn fucking do it. And so that's why I had a movie for every year of my life since I was like 25. I just keep making a fucking movie. I don't give a shit if it's a short one, a long one. No matter what, I'm gonna keep doing it. Like, I'll be in LA in about 2 weeks. I ain't certain if I'm gonna make some shit because I got business to take care of. But if I do, y'all be the first one to see. I'm trying to plan it out. It's only for a weekend, but I'm trying to plan it out to see if I can get something shot, even fuck if it's a 1 minute film. Because when you doing filmmaking for school, like they make your ass make 1 minute movies. It's still a story got to be told. Silent movies, like you make a movie, it's silent. Like it ain't no sound. It ain't nobody talking. Some of the movies I seen, motherfuckers is cold. And I should try to recreate some of the motherfuckers right on my channel because they keep y'all fucking with me. Yeah, so I don't know if y'all fuck with the Corey Holcomb show. I hope y'all do because this shit is crazy funny. Them niggas be going up, man. They go so wild on that motherfucker show and say so much wild shit. Like other than 85 South show, I don't know. No, 5150. I mean, not 5150. Yeah. Bro say I'm almost 50, even in Walking Dead. And a Wire, oh boy. Maybe see Straight Out of Brooklyn. Yeah. Yeah, that shit was cold, man. I always look at that shit like that. This is what filmmaking, that's what I want my movie Killer Rapper to do. I want it to be like a staple in a world of great creativity, like a great story that motherfuckers can actually go with and be like, yeah, this motherfucker worked right here because I put a lot of effort into that story. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing I wonder about Corey Holcomb. I be saying like, damn, why they don't shoot their own movies and shit? Like, what the fuck? Why would they be waiting around for Hollywood and shit? You got all this internet shit. You got the 5150 Nation, everybody fucking with you and shit. Like, why don't you just shoot your own fucking films? Like, I don't understand that shit. I don't know. I know that I get that Hollywood will hit you with like 80,000 a week. Like, you can get a real big ass checks working for Hollywood, and then it'll make you feel funny going back to doing this shit for zero. I mean, I saw my assumption is, you know what I'm saying? These motherfuckers can hit your ass with 1.5 million in 7 days. You get paid every week up there. So it would seem like you, and then you turn around getting paid 1 million a week, and now you trying to go do some shit yourself. You might be like, I don't want this shit. You know, that's the incentive that motherfuckers get, so they don't be rebels and they don't be, you know, revolutionary type niggas. They hitting your ass with money that you can't even imagine, and it's on a weekly basis, and it's getting your bank account. And you sitting up getting it. So then these motherfuckers come to you and be like, yo, hey man, we gotta go revolutionize this. Hey, we gotta shut down this store. You be like, hell no, I ain't doing none of that. Nigga, 170,000, 170,000 a week, right? Until this shit start, they doing this shit 5 years straight, 8 years straight. You fucking richer than you can even imagine. You're not finna fucking turn your back on them and disrespect them. It's not gonna work like that. You have to already have a mindset of a boss and a mindset of a person that you're going to make your own fucking way and you're going to make your own route. That's the only way you'll talk shit. Because if people could take something from you, you're not going to do it. And as soon as you talk shit, they're going to take something from you. That's the facts of the game. So you can't even put yourself in predicaments like that. That's the truth. If you do, you fucked up. Motherfucker. Oh, damn, you ain't gonna do what we say? Okay, take back what we gave you. We'll take that. Thank you. Fuck you. Now you sitting back hurt. So it's almost like if you go into deals with a person, you gotta let them know up front, hey, I talk shit, I'm disrespectful to the motherfucker, and I don't give a fuck what you say. And they'll be like, oh, okay. Oh, okay. I had an internship like that. And I was in there talking, I was 26 years old. I'm doing an internship in college, and a motherfucker, I'm on the phone talking to somebody. And I'm like, yeah, nigga, when I get older, I'm having a whole motherfucking my family empire. I'm gonna be making movies, man. You know, I'm a dreamer type nigga. And the next day, I come back to the little internship, and dude stopped me. The nigga who I'm working with, the old dude, he like, yo, man, they say they heard you cussing and shit and saying all this shit on the phone and shit, man. And it's the library and shit. So people was out there just you hearing you and shit like that. I was like 26 years old. I said, man, I don't give a fuck what none of these motherfuckers saying. Fuck you too. You want me to leave this bitch? He was like, no. I don't mean that. I don't mean that. I'm just saying that. I said, well, don't come bring me none with them bitch motherfuckers say about me. I don't give a fuck about this job, nigga. He was like, no, come on. But I laughed at that because I was like, I could have easily been like, oh, I'm so sorry. Damn, that's my fault. And he would have continued on like, you can't do that, man. People watching us, man. And then white folks, man, we come this far and here you go. And I'm like, I'm not finna listen to that pussy man shit. You waiting to get your retirement check because you a bitch. That's just all it is. It's nothing to do with me, nigga. You a hoe, and you've been putting time in with these goofy ass people, and now you want to get to the end of the route. Don't get mad at me because you're a pussy. You chose some shit that made you a bitch. Do not try to infringe that bitch shit on me. I'm not taking that. I'm not finna walk around here like no bitch and some intrinsic motherfucker who with no eye. You can't even see this motherfucker watching me and all this goofy shit. That's goofy shit, nigga. It's like, what the fuck you talking about? That's your life. If you into that shit, don't listen to me. Do you. It's enough motherfuckers to surveillance your ass and tell you what the fuck to do so you get to that goddamn retirement check. That's your fucking route. But when you fucking self-made, the last thing you thinking about is some motherfucker walking up on you telling you what another motherfucker is thinking and saying. Who the fuck cares? Tell your boss, tell that motherfucker you listening to, fuck them. If they don't say that, then I don't give a fuck because they ain't finna ask me no shit. They ain't finna come to me with that shit. They coming to you because they know you the hoe or you the soft motherfucker that would even bring that shit up. Who gives a fuck what somebody think, man? That's all goofy to me. So I'm operating my life under that guise. And I'm not doing that shit to try to blend in and get a crew of motherfuckers to rock with me because I know that that's phony as fuck too. Motherfuckers rock with you just only while you on or only while you up at some point. And then if you fall off from that, they ain't gonna fuck with your ass. That's just what it is. It don't matter who you are. It don't matter what you're working on. As soon as you fall off from that plateau, they're going to look at you like mud. That's what it is. You're going to look at people like mud too. It's just what the fuck we do. We don't look at Bill Cosby and say, yeah, but he was giving us some dope ass shows when we was growing up. We look at that nigga and we be like, he a rapist. We look at him and say, he got caught up fucking white people and he's sitting in the Bing right now. He probably raped them bitches. He probably raped two of them. I've heard motherfuckers say, where there's smoke, there's fire. You know? And I even say to them, because a bunch of people say some shit about you, don't make it true. Because they put a fucking video and edit that shit real dope and it looked like you did it, still don't fucking make it true. Because they convict you and put your ass in jail, still don't make it true. But it's the motherfucking people that be behind something against you, and then everybody just believe it. We danced to the name of love to R. Kelly for fucking years, and people knew that nigga had that kind of background. But did nobody fucking trip on him? Did nobody run and say, oh, fuck that, I don't fuck with him? And some people did, some people didn't. But for the majority of us, then nobody tripped. And then finally, when white people grab him, put him in jail, it's like, yeah, get that motherfucker. We all knew the whole time. You know, and it's just what it is. So people ain't gonna rock with you when you fall off. When you hit the ground, when you start fucking up or doing the wrong thing, they ain't gonna rock with you. So then to me, the question is, why be phony then? Why be fake? If they ain't gonna fuck with you, if you fall off and you gotta hope they fuck with you on your rise up, why be phony? Just be your motherfucking self. And anybody who fuck with you, they fucking with you at their own risk. Like they could play on the video games when I was a kid. You playing this at your own risk. So you ain't doing this shit because you doing this shit because we got a video game here. You playing this shit because you walked your ass in here with your own motherfucking money and you put it in there. That's on you if you fucking choose to do that. So that's how I look at it. Yeah, it sure was. See, Fat Eye was funny to the mother, and that's what I'm saying. We didn't turn our back on that nigga. We supported them people because we looked at that shit like this is comedy. We didn't trip on it. So it's like that. We got the. Let me tell you some funny shit though. While we might look at the Corey Holcomb and look upside his head for his antics, notice how white people ain't turning their back on none of the motherfuckers that did that insurrection up at the White House. Ain't none of them people dissed. Ain't none of them people looked upon as shitty or wrong. And as far as we concerned, they motherfucking insurrectionists trying to treason the country and doing all this shit. But other white people looking at them like it's okay. And that go for the prosecuting white people, the people who supposed to be putting them in jail, the people who supposed to be holding them accountable. They looking at them motherfuckers like, hey, you know, we just don't know. What was the reason? We just don't know. But they're not looking at them like we look at R. Kelly or we look at Bill Cosby with that vitriol. Like, yeah, get him, lock him up. Them people ain't even going to jail. They told me they didn't arrested 500 people. Yeah, but how many did you convict and put in fucking prison for doing that shit? They don't do that to each other. So that's some shit that we need to be looking at and understanding and looking at each other with more of a eye for understanding, because they'll lock your ass up, and especially if your people throwing you under the bus, and none of them niggas was right. None of them niggas did the right thing. They didn't do some shit and then you be like, oh, hold on, give them a chance, man. They wasn't wrong. No, you look at that shit, what they did, they was personally involved in, and be like, them niggas was foul as fuck. And they probably deserve to be going down. But look at what the white folks did, and look how the white folks look at them. They do not diss them. They don't come against them. They don't be like, round their ass up. Come on, I'm his family member. I heard them plotting in the garage. They don't say nothing. They sit back like that shit almost didn't happen. And in a few more weeks and a few more months, they ain't gonna even act like it happened. It's just, you know, it's the difference. So we have to kind of look at that shit and honor that, because we could fucking diss our own people for our own ways and wants and our own matter of fact ideals, but they don't do that to each other. And they the motherfuckers who got the country who we supposed to follow. They do not do that to each other. They don't fucking turn their back on each other for nothing, especially not us. If we came in there and all thousands of blacks of us came and said, you need to prosecute those insurrectionists, they tell us, get your ass out of their face. And you know they would. Yeah, yep, that's what and that's probably why he's sitting in jail right now. See, Gerald said, Cosby Show still put the idea of successful black family in a lot of our generation. And that's facts. And that's why he's sitting in there. Because see, Gerald, and anybody listen to this, he didn't actually put that in to America. White people paid him to put on a story that they sanctioned. He worked for NBC. That's a white company. The production crew was white. The camera people was white. The other writers was white. The distribution syndicates, when they go into syndication, all that's white people. When they paid him a check, when they paid Bill Cosby the $1 billion he got, because he sold that shit for motherfucking millions of dollars. I think it was like $90 or $190 million when he sold his show to them. And so he get the money from syndication over the decades, from the 80s all the way up to now. That's millions of fucking dollars. That's why they were saying when he was going through that, cut the show because that was going to cut the money. You understand what I'm saying? So he get the lion's share of that because that's how he sold it. So he getting fed, but that's white people money taking care of him. He is getting money from white people. So meaning what? They can stop it. They can stop it. They can say, okay, that's it. That's enough. Think about this. Who do you think was calling Bill Cosby for shows when he had to go do a concert? Who do you think was calling him? Who do you think was on the phone like, Bill? Yes. Hi, this is Kathy. Yes. We have you booked. You're going to be in Northern New York. Yeah. The place is called Funny Bone. Those are white people calling him. He's not being called from a black person like, yo, what's up, man? Hey, Bill, this me, man. It's Larry. Yeah, we're going to have you down here. And he ain't having them kind of conversations. So this is the deepness. This is what the guy was showing you in Get Out, how deep you can go inside the white world. However, the deeper you go, it gets uglier. It gets nasty. It gets more, even more, your brain can't even understand or fathom what the fuck going on. Those are metaphors for what you see what happened with Bill Cosby. He was so deep into the circumference of Caucasianism, he didn't even see his way out. He even got there all the way in there and was turning around, looking at black people like, look how y'all talk. Look how y'all carry yourself. Y'all need to get y'all shit together. Why was he talking like that? Maybe he was saying the exact shit that was correct, but it's a way to do it. It's a way, it's a route, and you at the position, the thing fell on his hands. It fell all in his lap where he was supposed to be the one to come up with the right practical ideas to make that shit work, but he couldn't do it. He didn't know how to do it. So he dissed us as black folks. Yeah, real life. He did. Yeah, he said people thought that the idea of a lawyer and a doctor in a family was fake until then, subliminally. Yeah, and that's true because you see a lot more of the middle class rose up from after the 80s. That's true. A lot of people, even though we dealt with the red line and we dealt with stuff in racism, it was still a black family households. It was heavy. You know what I'm saying? In that time frame and even forward. You know what I'm saying? So and you know they did more shows after Bill Cosby, because Bill Cosby was almost like the spearhead show that after that, so many came behind it. You know, the black father, you know, I remember when I was a kid, the guy who played in Die Hard, the black dude, the black guy from Die Hard, the first one, he had the character he played in the movie was so big. It was like, oh shit. It was like it was so big at that time because people loved his character in that time in the 80s. It was like the partner movie. And so you got Die Hard Boy, which is Bruce Willis, and then you got the black guy. The black guy became instant famous when we was kids. I'm not kidding you. He did that movie Die Hard, and he became instant famous. It was a buddy movie, but he did the buddy movie where people enjoyed him so much that he became famous. And so he came from that show, Die Hard, into being Urkel's dad on TV. And they had this show that lasted mad years. And I remember that was another Bill Cosby situation where the father's there. He had a job as a cop. He's home every day as a dad in his life. And it was like some true shit that was going on. And a lot of people did have that. Family Matters was the name. Thanks, bro. They had that. Yeah, it wasn't. I ain't saying it was a dope movie show, but I'm saying that dynamic of a dad being at the crib, because they also had Parenthood by Robert Townsend. See what I'm saying? That's what Bill Cosby birthed, that dad in the household syndrome that just ran. It just ran. And they had another show on Brandy. I think Brandy had a father in the movie, the show. And just remember that time frame. It was just a lot of shows that had a father figure in it, directly coming off of what Bill Cosby put in the game. You understand what I'm saying? You know, and that's a funny dynamic that we talking about the Bill Cosby show, because if you look at Corey Holcomb comedy, he talks from the perspective of the lack of a father being at home, the side baby, the side girl, all of this shit. The comedy he rocking is as if a daddy ain't in a girl life. Like, yeah, your life miserable because your daddy left your mama, and now you finna repeat her fucked up lifestyle. And so that be his comedy. That's his whole gist, some of his jokes and shit, which is funny than a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he was a clown. Yeah, he didn't have a swag. But see, that I'm gonna tell you, man, this is crazy, because that's what I didn't like about Bill Cosby. Like, I had my father growing up. Every motherfucking day, my father was at the crib. But he didn't act like Bill Cosby. My father was like a street dude from the west side of Chicago. He had us trick-or-treating in the projects. when we went to go see movies, we saw Penitentiary, where they was fucking in the movie. Like, we saw Star Wars and all that shit too, but he was making us see reality and realness. We was hustling on the streets. When the Bears won the fucking Super Bowl, I was 12. My father took us downtown to sell buttons and shit of the Bears to people on the street. And I remember it started snowing out there. And my old man, like, come on, get this money, get it snowing and shit. I mean, like, he was a hood person. He wasn't like this bougie dude with the bougie job. And so it was far-fetched to me what Bill Cosby was, because I didn't see that. My old man cursed all the time. He didn't drink alcohol. My old man didn't, and he didn't smoke. But he would use profanity all the fucking time, whooped our ass, had bitches. I didn't see that Bill Cosby personality, so it was hard for me to grasp that. So anytime I met a person like Bill Cosby, and I would say niggas that don't have fades, because in the 80s and 90s, niggas used to have fades in their hair, but these niggas had short naturals. I always noticed that. So I used to be like, why this nigga, especially in that time, like a little few years back, like, why this nigga got a short natural? Like, why he don't get his hair faded? So I started noticing that anytime a black guy had his hair in a short natural, that it wasn't faded, it wasn't sharp, it wasn't lined up like a street, like guys who I had recognized growing up. And I used to be like, something funny with this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I used to just recognize that. So, and I looked at that from Bill Cosby, because he was so person that they was trying to promote us. Oh, he's so great and he's so this, but he was not representing what I saw at the crib. Like, he wasn't like, my old man wasn't even like that. And I watched all that shit, Bill Cosby show, but it wasn't what I saw growing up as a father figure. So I looked at that shit as TV. That's not real. Ain't nobody dead like that. Ain't nobody lifestyle like that, but it was TV. And so when I saw people trying to depict that Bill Cosby personality, the whole bougie wearing a sweater, and yes, this bougie nigga shit, I ain't like it. So even when I got my master's degrees and all that, I vowed I'm not finna walk around like one of them goofy ass niggas, because that's not who I am. That's not how my father raised me. I'm not finna walk around phony looking, goofy. And I learned all this shit. I took my son to Harvard, Yale, Princeton, and motherfucking Cornell before he went to school, because I now look just like this, dreadlocks, hood film shit. I put my little suit coat jacket and shit on just to motherfucking walk around the spot to get my son seeing his dad on that level. But yeah, I'm me. And I took his ass to every motherfucking bookstore and every one of them motherfucking schools, so he could see that shit from his father, who grew up in the hood all his motherfucking life. But I could be intellectual and understand all that shit and not be a phony ass nigga, not be looking down on other black people, not be trying to act like I'm on a pedestal because I live in some fucking suburb around some white folks. That ain't gonna make me feel like I survived or I'm grown or I'm good. That don't make me feel like a better person because I'm dissing somebody black or looking down on somebody black because I work at some university and I'm teaching whatever. That's lame to me. That's just me though. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna just be myself, and I ain't finna kick it like that. You know what I'm saying? So you say you seen some shit like that, but I guess I ain't never seen it either, because anytime I seen black folks like that, they was kind of fake to me. You know what I'm saying? So I really never seen it. And I seen some black folks living and doing well, but anytime I seen black folks living like that, when I say fake, I mean that they don't like other black people. They look at there's the Bill Cosby kind of folks that I've seen in my personal real life. They don't really fuck with niggas like that. They actually diss niggas, and they feel like they're black. You know, I think what's his name? Chris Rock said it. It's the difference between black people and niggas and all that shit. Maybe it is, maybe it ain't. But my whole point about it is that we all black motherfuckers. No matter what part of this shit you is, or which color you claim, or what title you give yourself, you still black motherfuckers. Same shit happen to you could happen to another nigga. It don't matter. So us being divided on what we do as black folks because of what white folks call us at our job, or what religious we claim, or whatever type of skin tone, all of that's just divisive. It's not going to help us grow and blow. So for them to take somebody like Bill Cosby, who they left an indelible mark in the minds of black folks, where as a black man and as a man to be revered and a man to be respected, and that they take him down to the part of being a rapist or a molester or any of these negative connotations, and then sitting his ass in prison, the place that we all would make it to. We didn't want to assume going to no fucking prison, but they set his ass right up in one. And so it make you think, damn. Military Street, that's crazy. I'm gonna have to listen to that song Insane Clown Posse. I heard of them dudes. Yeah. So, you know, it's they and it's a different level of success. So somebody like Bill Cosby putting the show out like that, the real question is, did he fake us out? Did he fake Black America out? Is more people like Corey Holcomb, or is it more people like Bill Cosby? In reality, like, what's the realness in our community? What's the realness in the Black people that we experience? Is it more people like Corey Holcomb, or is it more people like Bill Cosby? That's a question, and anybody can answer that. Because we all from the same, no matter what city you from. Bro say, C0 say he grew up in Detroit. I grew up in Chicago. Anywhere you from, a Black man is there somewhere, and you can tell me, is it more Black men like Bill Cosby, or is it more Black men like Corey Holcomb? And I say that I use Corey Holcomb because just the video we talking about, and he does talk about the opposite of what a Bill Cosby would consider respectable. You understand what I'm saying? A side bitch, cheating on your wife, fucking hoes, and, you know, giving them money, low money or whatever. Any of this thing will be looked upon as, damn, man, that's not, you ain't going to heaven living like that. You know, a lot of people will have that mindset. So, but then the Bill Cosby, who they gave us this personality that of respect and look up to him, and he's going to be, you want to raise your kids like this. And really all Bill Cosby did is work for white people. That's really all he did. He had 7-Up, Coke commercials. He had Jello commercials. He had TV shows. All of those things are owned by Caucasians, and he went there and worked for them. And I guess when they got done with him, they threw his ass away. That's just what happened. You know what I mean? In the gist of it, you know, he's sitting in prison, and it's like, or somebody like Corey Holcomb, who keep it so real and keep it so functional the way he is, his personality, like just me, that they'll run from somebody like that and be like, I don't want to have no motherfucker around me like that. No. So did the phoniness take Bill Cosby down, and do the realness keep Corey Holcomb up? Because the white folks don't want to, like, I'm not going to get calls from Caucasians talking about some, hey, we want you to direct this new thing. Why? Because I'm going to be me, and which means what? They ain't going to fuck with me, because even off my hair alone, even off the name of my brand, they're going to be like, HUD films? What is HUD? How to be like, well, what's the HUD? Did you grow up? Is this one of, I think I saw your video. You know, it's by America. So you have to try to find a way in. And it's motherfuckers who will buy your shit. Like I was selling on the streets. It's motherfuckers who can, white kids who run up to buy your shit and be like, oh, fuck it, I want to get it. Because it's a way for them to peek into our community. Just like when we watch TV or watch the internet, it's a way to peek into white America's community. We get a chance to look and say, oh, okay, so that's what the suburbs look like. So that's what it looked like in a house. So that's what it looked like in a den. I remember one thing about Bill Cosby's show that I always remembered that I knew was phony compared to my life. He had a den. And I used to be like, a den? Like, what the fuck is that? And then he shot a scene, which what they would be considered the den. The den is what white folks call where lions hang out. The men lions, they hang out in their den. So that's what they telling Bill Cosby. And maybe they got that in their houses, but this is what they was telling him, and he had in his house. And I remember in the Brady Bunch, the father had the same thing in his shit. So they carried that over from the Brady Bunch having a den or his little study office area to Bill Cosby having his. So it would be interesting when they shot a shot inside Bill Cosby's study office, and he would come in there and be talking to us. So I still remember the fucking scene, how it looked inside that room. You know what I'm saying? I say, but see, just how bad Cosby family didn't exist in Corey's world either. Yeah, hell no, because he grew up in the projects. He said he grew up in the Robert Taylor homes. So you couldn't even get in there with a husband at a certain time. You could only move in there if you was a single mom. So you know he didn't have that. You know what I'm saying? Damn, you see that? He say good times was a myth in my world. Nobody on drugs or scandalous. That's crazy. No, that ain't crazy. That's good. Shit, that's actually a good thing. That's some shit. You know, a lot of people be praising the streets and praising the hood, but that's exactly what motherfuckers want. You want to be around, because what people don't understand is that it's a PTSD effect that happens behind living and being around that as a kid. It's a PTSD effect. So that means your barometer is different. You're gonna respond differently to shit. Like if you was getting browbeaten, disrespected by your parent, like I was at times, you're gonna fucking respond differently. So you'll see somebody like Bill Cosby and be like, Why he ain't cussing? Why he ain't yelling? Why he ain't flipping out? He a bitch ass nigga. He a hoe. Even though this is a TV show and somebody writing the script and he put on the outfit and he walk in the room and somebody screaming action and then he's doing a character. But that character is so far fetched from your reality that you looking at it like it's a smack in your face. Like it's a thing. It's a utopia somewhere. Like somebody got a dad that's living like this. Now in my brain, that's not true because this nigga's putting a show. He's putting on clothes and he's portraying a family. And the way white people tried to do him today is they trying to make it seem like that was a fake thing he was doing. He was being fake. He was a fucking person that was raping bitches. He wasn't no damn dad taking care of his family and I mean being respectable and all that shit. So yeah, that's true. Yeah. In that show, they wasn't. Norman Lear wrote Good Times. He said in Good Times wasn't nobody in there on drugs or scandalous. Yeah, that's true. They was living. But what happened with Good Times, and I tried to do some of this sort of in my movie, Killer Rapper, which is my new movie on my channel. Y'all can go watch my new movie on my channel. It's dope as hell. It's an hour long. I directed it. It's called Killer Rapper. It's right here on this channel. You should check it out. Yo, what was unique about Good Times, particularly, was they never left the projects. They had the mentality that they can do better by staying together in poverty. And that was the sick psychology. That's what you call a sick psychology. So they made us watch that and be happy, cheering the fact that no matter what, they can't and they never will leave the projects. But we all got dreams and aspirations. We all want to fucking go jump out of planes and walk up hills and be on mountaintops. And, you know, we don't want to fucking live in a damn projects all our life. So that show was really disrespectful to black people and disregarding us under comedy, under the guise of comedy. So you have to keep thinking about what they were showing us was really disrespectful. We should have never been watching that kind of shit because all of us want to elevate our life. You know what I'm saying? And seeing Bill Cosby showcasing that he was a great man, that he was somebody to be respected, we all followed. And when he came out with the pound cake speech, he was wrong for that shit. He came out saying this is black people, the way black folks talk, the way black folks conduct themselves. He said, go home and look at their mother. Go home and look at their mothers. He said, that's why they talk like that. Instead of starting his own school, instead of coming over there trying to, one person can't help everybody. So that's why you got to just keep your mouth to yourself, because he was depicting a person who was above that kind of thing of disrespecting somebody. If somebody like Corey Holcomb start talking shit about your mother or somebody kid or somebody mom or a relationship, you know he already got a mind like that. That's how he kick it. You're supposed to look at that shit and laugh and be like, God damn it, that's funny. Oh my God, the way he connected that. But you see somebody bougie like Bill Cosby who trying to come off as, you know, this upstanding black man and this is how you conduct yourself. I'm Dr. Cosby and all this shit. The last thing you thinking about is him slipping shit in women's drinks and freaking on them. So then you see somebody like Corey Holcomb who might be rambunctious, loud, ignorant, and foul, free. He ain't going to prison for doing shit because white people don't even want to be around a nigga like that. And then you see somebody like Bill Cosby who keep walking around using white people dialect, having a Caucasian experience. He set his ass in prison. Yeah, it was BS, bro. But that Gerald said that speech Cosby gave was BS. And it was because at the end of the day, he was only talking like that because of who was feeding his bank account. Who was feeding his bank account, man. That's all that was. And now today, we can see what they think about. Here's what they think about you. The people who fed Bill Cosby, the people who made sure he had money coming into that bank account, the people who made sure his bank account was fat for decades, year after year, week after week, they the same folks that said, we tied his ass, put him in prison. That's right. So now he's sitting in there for 9 years. He don't get to spend none of that money. He don't get to experience that money. And it's just crazy because that's really what it all came down to is money. He's rich. Bill Cosby's a fucking rich black man. So he's supposed to live and die just like the rest of the white folks, live and die on top. You think about Donald Trump, the way they were supposed to be prosecuting him after he became the president and he did all that with insurrection. You don't even hear about no prosecution date. You don't even hear about Donald Trump going to court. You don't even hear about Donald Trump finna be going down. You do not even hear it. Some women made an allegation against him, Bill Cosby, from 30 years ago. That wasn't even some shit that happened within the last 10 years, but it happened decades ago, 2 decades, 3 decades, whatever. He's sitting in jail for that shit. So what it's showing you that the sharp dichotomy of white and black, because that was a allegation heralded against Bill Cosby. There was an allegation. Somebody said he did this. Nobody was having no cameras. Nobody filmed Bill Cosby with a camera saying, dropping this shit in this bitch drink, she gonna give me some pussy. Nobody saw that. These are allegations, and they just kept hurling them from different humans. We watched Donald Trump say, we gonna take the Capitol. We literally looked the video. You can see it, play back. And then he say, walk down there, I'm gonna join y'all. And that crowd went their ass down there and they kicked it off. But why did all this happen, y'all? Because it can happen, because they're not going to prosecute each other. So while Bill Cosby is in jail for somebody saying he did some shit, we watched Donald Trump say that shit. And he walked away from being the president to being a free man to right now. And he ain't going to jail for 10 seconds. So while we can throw Bill Cosby and R. Kelly's and whoever else under the bus, look how they treat each other. Look how they treat each other. Did the Bill Cosby, is he a better man because he was doing them TV shows back in the day, and they could just turn it off on you and say you're a real fucking rapist? I don't know. And then, here go the thing about Bill Cosby. Even when he get out of there, he got to sign up to be one of them offenders or some shit like that. Where you got to sign or something like that when you move and shit like that. And they got his ass like the highest level. Yeah. Now, see, Gerald, you about to get me in trouble as a filmmaker, man. Come on, see, Gerald, you about to get me in trouble, man. If I say those two white people names, my film career could be doomed. Woody Allen and Roland Polanski, two Caucasians that have both done molestation, are free and rich. And that's facts. That's facts right there. And I think Woody Allen is married to his own kid, like a step kid or something like that. I know, and my girl hate hearing their names because the hypocrisy is so strong in her mind. And I do too, because look at what they do. Come on, but again, where is the outrage from their community? Not from our community, from their community, saying, throw them in jail. Throw them in jail this week. What they did was wrong. Don't hear that. You do not hear it. It's quiet and it don't even happen. Nobody say nothing. It's almost like those brothers are going to die with a name, with that attached to their name, but they ain't going to be dying in no damn jail cell. So you see somebody like Bill Cosby who get hurt or something like that. That's why I say sometimes being real and keeping it 100% is the best way to go, because look what they'll do to you trying to kiss up. Look what they'll do to you trying to be in their face. Come on, could you imagine Bill Cosby? You know how many people walked up on Bill Cosby and told him right now, hey, man, yeah, Rob Lowe, yeah, but they ain't locking them up either. Rob Lowe and Kevin Spacey, up, they ain't locking them up. Them two dudes on the news side, well, Rob Lowe had a name like that back in the 80s, though. He had did some movie, and they was claiming he was doing that back in the day. But they just don't do that to each other, man. So it's like, it's something to learn from. It's something to understand. It's something to take into consideration, that anytime we throw ourselves under the bus. Yeah, and they got, Elvis Presley. What's that other dude name? Jerry Lee Lewis, Jerry Hooker, something like that. Is another dude from the 40s. He married a 14-year-old cousin. Like, they actually have remade these people movies. That's how brazen they are about their own culture. They remade movies about these people and brought an actor in to play the 14-year-old kid that they married. Roman Polanski made a movie about an elderly man. See, Cheryl say, I'll stop. Yeah, man, because, it's just knowledge, really. It's not even like nothing going around. It's just information that's already really out there. We're not hurling claims. This shit has been documented all over. My woman was just watching Mia Farrow, the woman who was married to Woody Allen during all his drama. She was watching a documentary on that lady. And she told me just 2 days ago, she was like, did you know she had 11 kids or 9 kids? I said, damn. I said, that's probably why his little crazy ass wanted to get with her, because he was like, shit, she got no kids. She ain't going to miss one. But that's what happened and shit. So as a comedian and as a person that does commentary, you should be able to talk about this kind of shit. And it shouldn't break nobody's bones. And that's what they talked about on the Corey Holcomb show again, having jokes and talking about shit and not letting it break somebody down because you mentioned it or talk about it. It's your conversation. Is your opinion on something? You ain't God. You know, your opinion don't matter over nobody else's, but you just don't mind saying it. You don't mind putting it out there. So that's the shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Back. I haven't done all that though. I'm not. I ain't going that deep into it. I just know about those guys because they work in the industry of filmmaking. So you hear about it. You know, as a film artist, you hear about the stuff that go down, and you know what you just hear about it. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. And I just say God bless anybody who's been disrespected by a fucking molester or anybody, the Bill Cosby types, because they would. I don't know why they let him become so successful just to take him straight back down. That to me, especially Bill Cosby, because this is supposed to be an iconic man today. They're supposed to be doing things where they celebrating his life, celebrating his legacy. But Eddie Griffin said it's no way that they're gonna let. Yeah. They say it's no way that they're gonna let a black man live with his dignity and his legend and his legacy. That's what Eddie Griffin. Eddie Griffin said that in one of his videos. He said they don't do that. They don't let a black man die with his dignity and his legacy. So you got even somebody like Michael Jackson, who was down and died the same way with a fucked up legacy. Prince, they killed him. He died with a fucked up legacy as a drug addicted. Whitney Houston, they killed her, died bad legacy as a drug addicted person. So constantly, back to back to back. Now these are icons that when I was a kid, you would have never imagined them being caught up in drugs or even called out for being drug abusers. This was just not, it was unfathomable. You know what I'm saying? But today, it's reality that they are both, all of those guys are dead. And who own their stuff after they die? More than likely, white people, because you're going to revert back to them because that's just the people who own it. They own it already, you know, because you got to use their network to even put it out there. So it's just crazy, man. But, you know, I like kicking it with y'all talking about this kind of shit because it's just a lot of shit that I talk about. Corey Holcomb show, that was fire. Willie D, crazy as fuck. If y'all watch Willie D, you definitely know he got the show Willie D Live. No More Talk, and he was on there talking all kind of shit about his experiences and shit like that. Corey Holcomb really fuck with that nigga too, because he always be talking about how he learned a lot from Willie D about how to deal with people online, getting in his face and talking shit to him, or showing up at concerts and trying to get in his face. So he said he learned a lot from dude, and that was a dope ass show. And Just Needs funny as hell. Corey went in on her. He talked about her for 20 minutes, like this nigga don't want you, motherfucking. He kept saying Willie D don't want you. Why the fuck you keep talking about Willie D, girl? So it was just funny as hell. They was going through their thing. And you ain't hear too much from Craig talk today because Craig facts today because they was doing a whole lot of shit about everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So that was funny. Yeah, we say Dave Chappelle making it easy for future icons. Yeah, but see, you know, it's still too early in Dave Chappelle whole motherfucking giddy up. Remember, they ain't coming Bill Cosby. He was fucking 78 or 80 years old. Dave Chappelle, my age. Shit, so he got a long fucking way to go. By the time he get up there, you never know what kind of shit these people to put on you, man. You know what I'm saying? Some little rap kid was out recently. I don't even know his name because I had never heard the song before. And his song is about the Tuskegee experiment. I almost want to find that shit because I'd never heard of the kid before, so I don't know who he is. But when I heard the lyrics, I was like, damn, that's crazy. It's about the Tuskegee experiment and how they did that to black folks back then. Oh man, they probably put more music up here right now, so I would not know that kid's name. Some little kid, I'm gonna come back on here and tell y'all because I don't want to start playing it, and just because I didn't look at it, I didn't look at the thing, it just started playing. But some kid, he was talking about the music from using the Tuskegee experiment to tell black people that you got a lot now. So you don't have to fall for them tricks no more, like the Tuskegee experiment, like all this stupid shit that they put on us, you know. And he was almost like a perfect timing for this song because it's like they got the shit going on with the drugs. It may be this one, Cautious Play, because it's their roots. Now they got all these people running around trying to give us pandemic shots. You better be careful because these people already showed their ass when it came to that motherfucking pandemic, when it came to hurting black people. No, this ain't it. So maybe they didn't add songs on here. I know it's probably like a 34th song. If I hear that bitch, I want to let y'all hear it. But I was laughing because I was like, sure, they went crazy with this song because we had to think like that. We got to think like that. Like, yeah, they put new music up. This might be it right here. I'm gonna try to find that song and get back to y'all on that because they've added more music since I onto the platform. I listen to a platform called what's this shit called? Audio Mac. And I guess they just added more music to the little playlist thing recently added. So I wouldn't know what the fuck his song is because I wasn't looking at it. I just heard the lyrics and I was like, I'm gonna go back and play that song, but I never got to it and shit. But the lyrics again was telling motherfucking black people to be careful about watching this pandemic shit that they putting out here because of what they did back in the day. And if I hear that song, I want to put that motherfucker up there because it's just funny and shit how that's facts. We walking around this motherfucker. I gotta take it. I gotta take your thing. And you'll motherfucking be dead out here because you know they don't give a fuck. If you think they do, it's just you slow. You just a little slow. They don't give a fuck. They'll do some shit to your ass out here. So I ain't gonna hold you motherfuckers no longer than this. It's damn near an hour and a half, and I've been talking just straight shit to y'all, just kicking it about the shit I be talking about. So I appreciate y'all coming to this channel and listening to me and kicking it with me all this time. Appreciate y'all. Definitely come back again when I do another one of these lives. I'm gonna try to do it again Tuesday next week. If I don't, it'll be sometime in between. I'm not like locked in. Peace out. CJ, I appreciate y'all, man. Yo, check out the new movie on this channel called Killer Rapper. It's a dope movie. It's an hour long. It's right here on this channel. You can check it out. I'm gonna try to have it in the comment section or the description later on. And I appreciate y'all checking me out on the channel. And holler at y'all again in a minute, man. Thanks.